The room is quiet. Not the kind of quiet that comes with peace, but the kind that follows impact. An operating room, bright lights, a pitcher's arm laid bare. Months, maybe a year, erased in a single decision. Somewhere in December, Josh Winckowski's season, and almost certainly his entire 2026, ended not on a mound, but under a surgeon's hands. And yet, this is where the Toronto Blue Jays stepped in. Not with fanfare, not with a press conference, not even with an official announcement. Just a report, a line item, a 2-year minor league deal, and a question that says far more about Toronto's thinking than the contract itself ever could. Why sign a pitcher who may not throw a single pitch next season? To understand that, you have to understand what this move really is, and what it is not. This is not about immediate help. This is not about bullpen depth for opening day. This is not a win now headline. This is a bet on recovery, on patience, on institutional confidence, on time. Josh Winckowski has lived most of his baseball life inside the Red Sox organization. Drafted by Toronto in 2016, fresh out of high school, his professional career technically began with the Blue Jays. But it didn't stay there long. Trades moved him. Development reshaped him. Boston became his home. By 2022, he finally arrived in the big leagues. A starter at first, raw, inconsistent. A 5.89 ERA. More questions than answers. But Boston saw something worth refining. And by 2023, Winckowski found his lane. The bullpen. 60 appearances, 88 innings, a 2.88 ERA, 82 strikeouts. He wasn't flashy. He wasn't dominant in the traditional sense. But he was reliable, durable, trusted. The kind of arm managers lean on when the game feels uncomfortable. Then came 2025. 6 appearances, 11 innings, a respectable 3.86 ERA. And then, pain. An elbow strain in May. One that wouldn't fade. One that wouldn't resolve itself with rest. One that led, months later, to internal brace surgery, a procedure that modern baseball understands better now, but still respects deeply. The prognosis was blunt. No 2026. Maybe late. Maybe not at all. And that's when Toronto made its move. A 2-year minor league deal isn't about roster spots. It's about reassurance. It tells a player you don't need to rush. You don't need to prove anything in March. You don't need to gamble your arm to save your career. Heal first. For the Blue Jays, this is a different kind of acquisition. Not one that strengthens the bullpen today, but one that could quietly pay dividends tomorrow, or the year after. It's also a reunion. Winckowski was once theirs, drafted by this organization before trades and timelines sent him elsewhere. Baseball careers rarely move in straight lines, and sometimes they circle back to where they started. Toronto is betting that the version of Josh Winckowski they might get in 2026 or beyond is worth waiting for. There's another layer here. One that speaks to how the Blue Jays view pitching development. The plan, as reported, is not to lock him into a bullpen role. Not immediately. Instead, they want to build him back up as a starter when he's healthy. That's ambitious and risky. Internal brace surgery isn't a death sentence anymore, but it's still a mountain. Velocity returns differently. Command takes time. Durability is the final test. And transitioning from reliever back to starter after such a layoff is no small task. But if it works, a 27-year-old right-hander, major league experience, starter's arsenal, years of control. Those are the kinds of outcomes smart organizations chase quietly. This move also reflects where the Blue Jays are as a franchise. They are deep, competitive, built to win now, but aware that pitching depth evaporates quickly. Arms break, timelines change, and October is merciless to teams without options. By signing Winckowski, Toronto adds a future lottery ticket without sacrificing the present. No roster pressure, no immediate expectations. Just time and infrastructure. For the player, it's stability. Instead of rehabbing in uncertainty, wondering if the phone will ring, Winckowski gets a runway. 2 years to heal, to rebuild, to redefine who he is on the mound. Starter or reliever. Late inning weapon or rotation depth. That decision doesn't have to be made today. There's a certain humility in this deal. On both sides, the Blue Jays acknowledge that not every addition needs to be loud to be smart. That some of the most important work happens away from the spotlight. And Winckowski accepts that the next chapter of his career won't begin with a fastball, but with patience. In a sport obsessed with velocity, timelines, and immediacy, this is a reminder that development is still a human process. Arms heal slowly. Confidence even slower. When, or if, Josh Winckowski steps on a mound for Toronto, it won't feel like a debut. It will feel like a continuation. A second chance shaped by time, technology, and trust. And if he never does, the cost was minimal. The risk was calculated. The philosophy remains sound. This is baseball's long game. Sometimes, the most revealing moves aren't about who plays tomorrow, but who an organization believes in for the future. So when you think about this signing, don't ask how it helps the Blue Jays now. Ask what it says about how they're planning for what comes next. And ask yourself, is patience the most underrated weapon in modern baseball?